Once upon a time, there lived a farmer named Lee in a small village. His house was simple, and so were his fields. His heart was as big as the sky. Lee was a mysterious man who didn't say much. His calm demeanor belied a deep wisdom that ran through his daily life like an invisible undercurrent. The seasons ruled Lee's life in the village where he lived. People worked in the sun, and gathered crops at night, and every event was met with a flood of chatter. About everything, everyone had an opinion. In spite of all the noise and talk, Lee stayed cool and took care of his farm and his only son, Tao. One morning, Lee's beloved horse, which was a beautiful, strong, and active creature, was gone. As the locals talked, they were quick to offer their condolences. "Mr. Lee, what a terrible thing has happened to you. The best horse you had has left. How are you going to work all those fields now?" Lee stood like a rock in the face of the whispers of compassion and said, "We'll see." After 2 weeks, Lee's horse came back as if it were part of a big cosmic joke. It brought a group of wild horses with it. People who had been sad about Lee's loss now said, "Mr. Lee, you're so lucky. Your horse has not only come back, but it has also brought you more. You are now a rich man." Lee, on the other hand, was as calm as ever as he said, "We'll see." In the weeks that followed, Tao started to train the wild horses. He was riding the fastest horse one afternoon when he fell off, and broke his leg. People started talking again. "Poor Mr. Lee. Your only son, whom you love the most, is injured right now. Who will help you take care of the farm?" But Lee stood tall as the waves of sorrow came crashing in, and he just said, "We'll see." The king's men came to the town the next day, making a lot of noise, and scaring the people there. In a faraway land, war had broken out, and every man who could fight was being forced to join the king's army. But when they saw Tao's broken leg, they passed him by. The close call with danger scared the locals, so they gathered around Lee and said, "You are the luckiest of us all, Mr. Lee. Because he was hurt, your son has been spared the horrors of war." Lee said softly, "We'll see." He was as calm as the eye of a storm. Lee was as steady as a rock in a world where life was as unpredictable as a river. His life was full of things that seemed like gifts or curses, but he never changed. His mind was as still as the surface of a pond. Lee understood something fundamental about life that most of us find hard to grasp. Life is an unending dance of change, one moment a swirl of laughter, the next, a cascade of tears. To clutch on to any single event, good or bad, is to lose oneself in the illusion. Life is too uncertain to waste time worrying about what will happen. What may seem like a tragedy can turn into a blessing, and what seems like a stroke of luck may bring hardship. So, don't let fear or worry cloud your mind, or sorrow make your heart dark. Focus on what's happening right now, accept it as it is, and be ready for whatever comes next. Remember, as Lee shows us, life is not about what happens to us, but how we respond to it. Stay calm and steady during the big dance of change in life, and like Lee, we might one day say, "We'll see."